Good morning. It is 8:30 on dot on Tuesday, July 8th, 2025, and this meeting of the Sandpoint Arts, Culture, and Historic Preservation Commission is now called to order. For the record, I am Chairwoman Ellie Sussness, presiding in the City Council Chambers in City Hall, 1123 Lake Street in Sandpoint, Idaho. Commission members who are present are Barry Burgess, Will Valentine, and Decker, and myself, Ellie Sussness. The ones who are absent are Carol Diener, Kate McAllister, Caitlin Shook. We have with us our City Council liaison, Justin Dick, and our acting staff liaison, Mayor Jeremy Graham. We will now proceed with the approval of the minutes from the commission's last meeting. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting. Kate McAllister just stepped in. Welcome, Kate. You. So we will now proceed with the minutes from the commission last. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting held June 10th, 2025.
Yeah, I moved to approve the June 10th meeting.
Right, Rick has made a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, Barry Burgess seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None heard, motion passes. All right, onward to the financial report, the Sandpoint Urban Renewal Agency for short. The art funds that I saw as of May 28, 2025 are for the downtown district is $211,345.03. The northern district is $114,863. We do have silver box project funds for, I believe, $3,684.68, and most of that will be going out to our lists. It was just voted. All right, is there any questions for the financial report? Which are the financials? Oh, I'll get it to you. So onward to commission business. So, those of you who were here last time will know that we unanimously we chose 3 artworks and 1 alternate out of 5 submissions last month. We had planned to get council approval at their June 18th meeting. However, it was canceled due to lack of a quorum. We presented the next week at the rescheduled special meeting where council approved the selections. However, because of the delay, Kirk Cease from Maryland had to decline because he couldn't get his piece here in the required time frame. He had been out west the week earlier doing install, so if we had gotten it as we had planned, he may have been able to do it. So that means that the alternate moved up as the third selection. We installed Kingfishers by Lee Harris on July 2nd, and I have Skyward Grace by Denny Henson and The Beauty of Duality by Dave Gonzo to install tomorrow morning. Let's see. So these selections will be up approximately 1 year, and I have vinyl plaques that I got made in the meantime. One of the things that got feedback on last time was we didn't get any identifying information up in a timely fashion. So I wanted to make sure I had something to go up as soon as they're installed. But it's up to you guys if you want me to research fancier plaque, something a little more permanent. These particular vinyl plaques, I feel like they have a lot of information on them. They have the funding source as SURA, which I always think is a great thing to add to the information. It's got all the artist information, the name of the piece. even got a QR code that points directly to our Arts, Culture, and Historic Preservation webpage on the city website.
I think it's lovely.
Mhm.
And the QR code works.
Yeah.
He's always double checking.
I do too. When you work with them.
There's just offline, you pop those up and.
I mocked them up and I actually work with a vinyl wrap installer as a side gig, and so I had to print them up.
And they're pretty adhesive on the back.
Yes, they're adhesive and they stuck really well. Actually, 2 cycles ago, Heather had gotten vinyl stickers, and the feedback that I got from Lee Harris is that she actually liked the vinyl sticker. So,
Cheap, it's. Look sharp.
Yeah, these look really good now.
thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
It happens, yeah. Well, if everybody's okay with that, I think that we'll stick with that, and, you know, we can get feedback from the public and the artists and see, you know. I think it's gonna be great, and I'm excited to get all the pieces up tomorrow, and if we hadn't had that, the delay in the council meeting, I think we could have got them up before the July 4th. So I want to thank all the staff and all of you for making it happen. So that being said, I would say that for next year, we're gonna want to start planning in January. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Let's. So we'll plan on, you know, getting right out there in January, getting a nice long call for arts. And then as long as we're, you know, on track, then we don't have the logistical nightmare of trying to make all the meetings and make a deadline. That would be our plan. We'll put it on our calendar.
That kingfisher looks great out there.
Isn't it nice? The
Yeah.
colors pop against
Yeah.
the building.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's what made me stop. It's like, shit.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And Lee, actually, when we were deinstalling Lee's other piece by the post office the week before, we had at least 6 passerbys stop and say, "Oh, what's happening? We love that piece. We don't want you to take it down." And we're like, "Well, we're putting another one up over there, so don't worry."
It can be yours. forever.
So now that we'll have all 3 pieces up, do we want to do a press release or something? Do you mind
No.
if I
great.
make something up for you?
That's great. Yeah, put it on your website and. Reader.
Okay, sounds good. On my list, I have one. So. ASAP. All right, is there any other questions then on the Silver Box project? Did anybody have any questions on how Kirk wasn't able to finish or complete his application, so Dave Gonzo stepped in as the alternate. That's the one that we picked, so. That's what we've got. All right. Heading on, then we have the Big Belly can wrap selection planning discussion. So I was hoping to have the Big Belly can wrap be the next project we worked on together. However, I just heard that Amber Williams is
She's gonna be the new principal. Serviceable.
that's exciting.
Yeah, she does all of our contracts and grants.
Yeah, Amber, I worked closely with Amber to do the Silver Box project, and
And she's like, you know what? Yes, it is.
so that's going to put a
But we've just made an offer to a new. She accepts. She's already with the city, she'll.
oh, great, okay. Well, then we may be able to keep it rolling. However, I don't think we'll be able to do it. So I'll stay in close contact with staff and
Do we own the Big Bellies? I thought we,
Yeah.
okay.
Bottom out. Cancel.
That's-
So we had planned on wrapping two, so the fact that we own them all now could mean anything at this point. You know, maybe we could wrap a couple every year, and that's something that we can talk about after we get through this first.
What does it cost to wrap one?
Um,
roughly?
the quote I got was a little over 500.
How long does that last?
A wrap will actually last quite a few years.
Or,
Yeah, if you remember, we wrapped the utility boxes,
Yeah.
and that's been,
a long
it's
time.
been at least 3 years now.
Oh, at
Nice.
least.
Could be longer now. I lose track of time. But, yeah, they're looking really great.
Yeah, maybe a little bit less, because there's more touches on the trash can than a utility box,
It's
maybe,
possible, there's more moving
But-
parts, but
but pretty durable.
I think it's.
I
Okay.
don't know, most people use the foot
Yeah,
That's true.
to open it.
and I know a lot of other cities wrap the
Mhm.
boxes, whether it's art or advertising, so, you know. Yeah, all right, so I'll keep in touch with everybody and we'll see if we can get that in ASAP. Shoot. All right, any other questions on that? Then let's move on to the Lake Pondere wooden sign refurbishment. Now, some of you weren't here last time. But Will, you want to speak to what this is?
Is that the one that was at the chamber?
Yes.
So CFC contacted the museum and asked if we had any interest in it because they were getting rid of it. I don't know what they were going to replace it with, but I went and looked at it, thought it was something we ought to keep. So it's sitting behind the museum. It's not undercover. It's about 4 feet by 5 feet, weighs over 100 pounds. I would guess takes a couple people to move it. I thought was would look pretty good at one of our boat launching ramps or the windbag sailboat marina, something. It needs a post behind it into a concrete, something to hold it up. It's pretty good shape. It just needs some retouching.
And the reason why it fell was because I ran the chamber for 14 years, is that the chain broke.
Okay.
And I could not find any service group. I could not
Oh,
find
no.
anybody to help us touch it up or put it back up. I don't think they're gonna replace it with anything because it was in the center of the,
The trestle.
yeah, of the, right. So I don't think they'll replace it with anything, but I always thought it was a really great sign. So I'm glad it's going to be. Thank you very much.
Well, we need to get it somewhere.
So our
We
ask,
really, we could put it up, I guess, but it really, it's got a little dot where Sandpoint is. It's about the lake. We can't really see the lake from the museum. I think a boat ramp would be great. There's a boat ramp at Lakeview, right there.
That's true.
That they did some work on. They put in some vegetation. You could put this sign there.
I just mocked it up here on the side of the Martha's Snack Shack and does it.
Yeah, one other
Potential.
alternative that you might want to think about, the city beach sign, over by the pump house when you're coming down Bridge Street has been broken in half for the better part of the last 5 to 6 years. That might also be an alternative space.
We just would like, we don't really need it. We just took it because we didn't know
wanted to
what
save it,
they
yeah.
were gonna do.
Mhm.
So we would like it away from our control. as soon-
Well,
So we're offering it,
you.
please.
So what do you think, Mr. Mayor? Is there?
I love it. I think it's really cool and it's authentic. Very good. Should put that on the lake, so. Leave it to you to make a recommendation to.
And we move it first. Someplace to go,
Leave a city shop,
to come get it.
probably.
Put that on my list.
And-
Yeah, it is very
and
heavy.
Just
try to
check
keep it
in
on.
at the museum that you're taking it, or it's around the back, so you can actually drive a vehicle pretty well all around the back, behind that metal trailer.
It's really cool.
Better bring a
We've got
couple
some
of
lean
people.
tos, get some lean-tos that could keep it, you know,
Under
protected.
Or throw a tarp over it. So you,
Been there forever. But the chamber was there forever, so
Yeah.
I don't even know how old it is.
It's super cool. And we can get a little group together, a work group and repaint it. I think it'll be perfect.
I think Roosevelt might have.
Right? He hung it at the
Yeah.
chamber when he got there. Let's just go.
right our own history.
Yes.
Well, let's have a little vote on that just to make everything official. Like to entertain a motion to procure the Lake Monterey sign from the museum and make a plan, put a plan in place to refurbish it and hang it on city property.
Oh, you need a motion
I
or?
need a motion.
Okay, I move. I so move.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Is there a second? All right, there's a second by Barry. All in favor?
I,
Any opposed? None heard, motion passes. Fabulous. All right, onward to culture. So, let's see. Summer walking tour planning. So I talked to our esteemed historic storyteller, Michael Bigley, who did all of our tours last year. And it asked him to do two this until we get more people who are willing to volunteer to do it. I didn't want to overburden anybody.
well, we have an LPO rep board meeting on
Oh.
the 27th. So
Okay.
I'll put that out there.
Okay,
Put it out to our little theater community. Only the good ones.
so he and I decided on Friday, July 25th to be the first one and August 22nd to be the second one. Those are at 10 a.m. and they meet in front of the Canada Theater. So the thing that will be different this year is there's no registration because of limitations with the Parks Department. So it will be drop-in only. However, we'll make sure that we have it on the website and get it advertised as many places as we can, and I think we can send it into the events.
Mhm.
Thing in the
Yeah.
papers.
Tick
So,
the OP on the online calendar.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So we'll do that to make sure that we have at least visibility and so.
Do we have a social media page?
We have a Facebook page.
So we can push it out to
But
the
it's,
city then?
it's not for conversation.
Oh.
It's just for.
Right, right. So
And-
potentially we could get, if we can get that on the city and then we
Right.
get some of the businesses that affects, share it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'd be happy to.
Or
do
what
that.
about making a flyer and putting it at the hotels?
Actually, I thought of making a flyer as well and putting them up on all the bulletin boards, so.
Yeah, because hotels, maybe if guests are in town, what is there to do? It's like, here you go.
The city, we have Airbnb or short-term rental licenses. Do we have a email list?
Yeah.
Those guys that,
The ones that are, that pay taxes, we. Somewhere.
do we
Like,
ever share any?
you
send
know, we're pretty
emails?
careful with the data that how we use the data we collect. We don't. Sometimes our utility folks will send something out.
Anything like this, like events?
No,
We've done that with the parks list, though. We,
work usage.
Yeah, once I have the press release and the flyer and any social media that you have, we can push that out to our Facebook page as well as our
I know it's a
list of folks that hold accounts for our department.
okay,
Yeah, because at the chamber, we would have, at the visitor center, we'd have all kinds of vacation rental owners come in and pick up all kinds of information for people to do, to go to. So that would be a good demographic that,
fun.
yeah.
okay.
And we get our website, which might. Sorry, I hear from a lot of people that they want want us to just work on structure and roads.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying to balance, how much do we do, amazing work you do, it's. I've got criticisms, wow, it seems like you're just focusing on
Yeah,
art, culture. Get to work. Kind of a balance of how much.
Yeah,
we
it makes
do
sense.
The horn, we could potentially put something on site, not that it gets a ton of traffic. And certainly Wednesdays, KRY.
Yeah. Well, and if you give me some flyers, I know about a dozen people who own, that are legit, because I rat out people who aren't. I'm that person. And I proudly admit it. Do you have a license for that? Are you sure you're doing that? Anyway, if you give some flyers to me, I'll hand them out to my friends who own those and so
Okay.
put these in your.
Good, all right. I should be able to get this week and get all the information you can, so that you can.
Yeah, and I'll take some, we'll have any way we could potentially, how soon do you think you get the flyers turned around?
By the end of the week.
Okay, perfect. Oh, we can get them out to the shopping district
Oh,
at our
great.
next meeting.
What about Schweitzer? They have I know there's a company that does all the. You're not subscribed, you can't be in our handout box.
Oh, yeah. They do have,
Maybe Sean.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
Sean.
we could reach out to Sean and Sean Myris and see
Yeah.
if he can direct us on the best way to go about that.
he owes me a favor.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, that sounds great. And then actually, anybody who is interested, let's show up there on the 22nd and get an idea of how Michael does his tour. I've not actually taken Michael's tour yet, so
Be out of town, so. Love to.
What are those dates again?
the July 25th, both Fridays, 10 a.m. and then August 22nd.
I attend as well.
oh, where's the meeting place?
In front of the Canada.
25th.
Very good. All right. Great. So next up then is the Commission Business Historic Preservation. Number 7, the Historic Walking Tour brochure. So, because there's been so much going on and I've had my hands full, I still have not completed the layout for the walking tour brochure. So I just wanted to give you that update and say that I'm sorry. I will get there, and obviously we're not gonna get it out for the summertime, but it's gonna be great and we'll get it printed and we'll have them for foreseeable future. We still have quite a few of the other brochures left. So there's no chance of running out the tours that we're giving.
Chamber of Commerce lady told me they were out.
Oh, they're out? Okay, then
So
maybe
she
we
was
need
sort
to,
of fussing about getting the new ones, but if we've got old ones, we could get.
I can get her some of the old. Good to know that. When you guys hear that, you need to let me know that. All right, so moving on then to number 8, orchids and onions. We should be hearing whether we orchid for the Second Avenue property any minute now because their banquet is at the end of the month. So I'm assuming they're going to tell us here
Nice.
shortly. Notes.
And which property is that? I'm sorry.
That's,
Oh,
Yeah.
that building. Yeah.
so Mr. Mayor, when we get word of that, if we've gotten an orchid, can we do a press release?
Oh, you bet.
To them.
It's Sean's.
As soon as we find them. Moving on then, is there any questions on that? Moving on then to general business. So we had a request here at the city, by a business owner downtown. The owner of the Sandpoint Arts next to the Jeff Jones Square. He inquired to the city, had some questions. So I got in touch with him And we talked about mural here, which we've been. Actually, we've been wanting to do a mural here for ever, since I've been on the commission.
Yeah.
You know, the previous owner, would not let us touch the wall. The cream colored paint was the most that they would do. However, Mike from Sandpoint Martial Arts, he just bought the building within the last year, and he's ready to do something exciting. So we are in the very, very, very beginning stages of talking that through. You know, there's a lot of moving parts, there's funding, it's private business, it's private property, so no sewer funds can be used for that sort of thing. But that doesn't mean that we can't, you know, work out some creative ideas. One of the things I wanted to bring to you guys is obviously if the mural comes to fruition, I feel like we probably will need to move the bike.
That's what I was just gonna ask. I love that.
Yeah, I love the bike too, but I mean, we have plenty of space. We have the new parking lot there. What better place for a transportation themed piece of work? Maybe it goes over to somewhere in the parking lot or, you know, adjacent to.
You
So,
guys to.
yeah,
Yes,
I think,
like that.
I think it's excellent potential. So I want to show you something, and Mr. Mayor may have already seen it, but I wanted to show the owner the potential of the space, you know, for potential funders or whatever. So I did mock up something
Oh, that's lovely.
Great.
just to show the potential.
Yeah, yeah.
So this means nothing. I just threw this together. This could go anywhere if we wanted to use this design. This could go at the city beach on the bathrooms. Yeah, just look at the potential of,
There's a lot of traffic there.
there's
Yeah.
tons of traffic there.
Tons of traffic.
It will be amazing whatever gets put on there, but what fun is that?
That look really cool behind the tree too. Having the Christmas tree and then
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
behind it in the winter.
Well, and you know, the kids these days, everything's an Instagrammable moment. So what do you think?
Yeah.
Whatever ends up there is going to be like
Yeah.
very popular.
Yeah, you're gonna have less pictures from your building, Justin.
I know, they're gonna walk over there.
Yeah. Or, what is it?
And maybe might
Upstate Idaho.
I suggest, the entrance that we closed on the parking lot on the north side there.
Mhm.
To potentially move the bike over, you know, kind of has dual
Oh.
responsibility now. Because we're seeing there's a gap. Nobody wants to park right there, right?
Right.
Where that old entrance and exit was. And also might take away from a little bit of grass maintenance that we would need to
Right.
have, put it there. And I think the other thing, we've got the bike lane that goes, right next to the, parallel parking spots.
Mhm.
Might give people kind of the idea like, hey, watch out for bicyclists. I can't tell you how many times I parked over that. I always end up getting that parking spot now because nobody parks.
Yeah.
Right? But you know, I've got to like do a double check before I open my door as bicyclists come down. Might be a little piece that could serve a couple of responsibilities there, right?
I like that.
That's a beautiful idea, actually.
Without having to take up any parking, you know, any
Yeah.
area in the actual parking lot.
And I think the size would be just perfect.
Yeah.
for that little spot. Yeah.
Good idea.
Wonderful. All right, so stay tuned on that. The owner is traveling, so we're gonna have another meeting when he's back and go from there, and I will keep you posted. Awesome, so next up then, we have potential seasonal banner project. Oh. Now this, most recently, we did have some banners up. I don't know if you guys saw when 7B Live had their fundraising effort for the week. They
You
actually,
know how long it took me to get that? And it was the first time they were used.
Awesome. Okay, well, we're gonna lean on you for more information. And I have this screenshot because it's interesting after Mr. Mayor let us know that he was interested in maybe making this a project. The Hilliard neighborhood in Spokane actually are doing a call for art for their own banners. So I have, I'm gonna take information from their call and tailor it to what we want to do. And again, I just love to do mock-ups. I mocked up a little banner here and just some backstory on this banner. This banner is from 1985.
It's in
Very,
my backyard.
it's in
Wow.
Barry's back.
It's hanging over the garden.
So today, Barry's wife, Val Burgess, owned the cotton mill, for those of you who remember the cotton mill, and I actually worked there in the 80s. And this banner is something that we hung out in those days. And of course, they were different light poles then. But it's be fun to mock it up just so you guys could get an idea of what. So,
Yeah, I'll just say, you know, of this, I'm all about trying to do things that are inexpensive, that make our town look better. Making curves or, you know, just active projects that so everywhere I travel, I was in the Metro Valley this weekend, and every town I went to, I wanted to stop, take pictures there. Look nice. I know they're kind of generic, but they put a feel on our community, and I'd love to see every pole in our downtown with these, just so we get appreciation when you enter. And maybe do a supper and
so that's what I was gonna ask is how do we want to do this? We want to have, say, one call to start, have single artists do summer and winter, or do have two artists?
I don't know the durability and how long these last, so maybe a little research just to understand. I mean, are these gonna be years or? Let's see. The bear. 2 years.
Hmm.
For you, whatever you. You job them like 10 years ago.
Right.
Over and they're bright red and they popped and I don't know if we need more students or whatever they are. It's or even an inventory of have. Yeah. We'll run into issues with the state law. City flags and things like that, because.
Stupid issue. Anyway, so is it easy to take the graphic design and then adhere it to like nylon or whatever the flags will be made out of?
Yes,
Okay.
in today's world, there's so, the sky's the limit really in materials and printing abilities.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
like, for instance, this one was screen printed because that's what we had at the time,
Right.
40, 50 years. But these days, you can do a full color banner on, really good quality nylon that will stand up.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor says could be 5 years, could be 10 years.
Okay.
I mean, I don't foresee doing all every year.
Right.
I think that, yeah, we have a set time period after researching what the durability is. And then.
I mean, here's another idea too. I don't know if we could go to Waldorf High School
Mhm.
and it's at 12 different ones. Each
Yeah.
student gets that one. Bring their parents down, being like, a banner and taking pride in it. You have lots of ideas. One for Disney, Senior Center,
Oh, that'd be,
should
Yeah.
do a little, do a placard describing the banner program. So
How many lights do we have?
It's something we need to talk about. Us.
Yeah. So we do have a little more research to do, I think.
Maybe that's too scattered. Maybe it's just a different picture, but so one town where they did their,
Yeah,
and
That's
seniors were up
awesome.
there.
I think Cheney did.
It was somewhere. Oh, it was over in Montana in Eureka.
But we could have the same theme around and then.
Yeah.
You know, the students or organization just have the middle of it or something. So it still is consistent, yet a little different.
We could have each nonprofit make one and have a nonprofit
Mhm.
week.
That'd be so cool.
Cause I was thinking Angel, but that may be, sorry, I was just like, we could honor our nonprofit.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, sorry.
And
We'd have to
Dover
double
Bay's-
check with the pricing if, you know, custom.
Yeah.
Are more expensive
Mm-hmm.
than all one.
Yeah, oh, I'm
all
sure
the
it
same
is.
price,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So that would.
Yeah.
Work into what the budget ends up being. Considered.
Dover Bay, they've had theirs up for
Oh.
what, 15, 20 years?
Well, yeah.
You know, and I think they switch them out. I think I've seen different ones, but those are going strong.
All right, well, I think that we have more research to do. And now that, you know, we've talked about it, let's really be looking and thinking about how we want to approach it, and we'll dive in more next meeting. Let's see, do we have to, oh, that's just discussion. All right, number 11 then.
Madam Chair,
Oh, yes.
I just heard back from Sean Migris. He said, if you email me the flyer, I can put it up. We don't have many locations to hang stuff up here. There might be a place we can include it on our website.
Oh, great.
I'll send you Sean's.
Okay.
email.
Thank you so much.
Sorry.
Right, moving on, number 11, actually, I was hoping to have more people here today. And, just so you know, so this was election of the vice chair. We haven't had a vice chair since Keely resigned. and-
Keely was vice chair.
Yes,
Okay.
well, so we're down 2 people. We have had an open call for applicants. We have 1 applicant so far.
I'm recommending that.
So we have, so I'm gonna say we don't vote for vice chair at this point. I think we should table this item. And get Dara on board, and also, you know, have Cheryl here and Caitlin here when we make this
Sure.
decision.
Caitlin almost back?
Yes,
Maybe next
she's
month or something?
probably, she was gonna try and zoom in this month, but
Yeah.
yeah. So if you guys don't mind, I don't think we have to vote to table it, do we? We'll just hold off, we'll get Dara on board, and hopefully we'll get other applicants. Maybe that's what you all can focus on if you know people in community that might be interested in joining our group. That would be awesome. Have them go ahead and apply. It's on the city website. Commission applications, I think, is the tab, so let's get a full commission going. Well,
How many spots do we need to fill?
2.
2.
Including Dara or
Oh,
In
just
addition.
one.
So one.
Just one.
Just one.
do all of you know Dara?
Mm-mm.
She's a
Great.
Yes, she is yeah, she's awesome, but
Yeah.
Okay.
a force of nature.
All right.
Good things moving.
Good. Vice chair.
It's good to wait.
She was in one of my leadership classes.
Awesome. All right. Well, then, moving on, then, we will not deal with that this time. We'll table that for next time. Moving on, we've got Commissioners Roundtable. So I do have a few things mention at the Commissioners Roundtable. The Urban Forestry Commission is looking for our assistance in determining the definition of heritage tree and how heritage trees are designated in Sandpoint. So I attended their June regular meeting, invitation from Eric Bush. And he couldn't be available for this meeting, but he'll be here next month to give us a little presentation
Oh, nice.
and let us know what he would like to hear from us. I do have some information that I can email to each of you. Just informational in anticipation for that.
That's his real name.
Eric Bush.
On the tree. On the tree
He's
committee.
our, sure.
Urban forester, yeah.
Meant to be.
He's awesome.
And is there any questions on that?
Mm.
All right. Then the Parks and Rec Commission also asked me to their meeting tomorrow to talk about a collab to paint the basketball courts
Mm.
in various parks, just as informational thing. So that is a project that we've actually talked about for a few years. So it's fun to see that on their agenda.
Is that to do like a mural over the basketball courts? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Confuse people.
They do it just about.
Yeah, they really do. It's a lot of fun. If in Riverfront Park, they've got a huge basketball court that's even with a mural in it, so it's really neat. All right, so that's a fun project and I'll attend that meeting and I'll report back. And that's all I had, other than just reminding everybody about the 53rd annual Arts and Crafts Fair that's coming up
Mhm.
9th and 10th. And I know we have a lot of more events happening, but that was all I had. So I'll open it up.
Speaking of events, we have, so Friday from 5 to 10 at McDuff's Beer Hall. Hospice is sponsoring a fundraiser for Kids Grief Camp. So Kids Grief Camp is held every year up at Pine Street Woods. We had it June 9th through 11th. And it's usually therapists who kids are having a hard time dealing with someone who's passed in their life or the way that they passed. And so we provide a way for them. There were 12 kids this year, and it's really a fabulous thing when you hear one little girl, her dad committed suicide and she was having a really hard time. She was my mentee. And I said, you know, we all go through hard times like this. And then pretty soon she noticed, oh, I know that person. They go to my school. They go to my school. And I said, see, we're not alone. So you didn't know about that, about those people. And so it really is, it's a really great way for them to realize that they're not strange or weird, that everybody has these feelings, you know, that it's okay to be sad and angry. And so it costs probably about $5,000 a year, not much, to hold the camp. And a band is gonna play, so from 5 to 10 at McDuff's. I think they're gonna have some raffle items and
Right.
I'll be there. Yeah, so
What's the date again?
this Friday, the 11th. This Friday.
Great, thank you. Can't say enough about the hospice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Yeah.
And then, Madam Chair, if you don't mind, City Council is moving forward here on our parking management plan. As we get further in here, Mr. Mayor, stop me if I'm saying anything that's incorrect. We'll have an opportunity or some idea of where we're going to direct those revenues. Wayfinding could potentially be a part of this, from our discussion with council and some of our individual discussions with councilors. With that said, I think with the wayfinding, we could certainly tie back into this group to do some very interesting, creative, artistic, signage down and around downtown Sandpoint here. So keep an eye on that as we get moving. I'm not sure what the timeline is for the next step here. I'm guessing in the next couple months.
Yeah, it may be a little longer than that. I think we're also kicking off phase 3 revitalization, which is gonna go from Bridge down maybe to Superior. I imagine we'll probably leave that in, but yes, your expertise and skills and perspective are gonna be critical in that. I think it'll involve probably the planning commission too, maybe a little bit of recommendation to them. You've probably all seen, there's great wayfinding books out there. Certainly something, again, one of these low cost investments that can dramatically, our downtown. Yeah, that's. And I should also, you sort of brought it up, on the downtown parking lot, we are working for a kiosk, provider. There's one that excels at these digital paper kiosks. And the intent is to have one or two on the southwest corner, lots of facing Farman, facing Dole's intersection. And those are gonna have opportunities. And content on them as well, QR codes. One of the things I'd like to do is put up either cam or blue light on there, so in the winter, we have a better tie into Schweitzer, so when it's a bluebird day and we're in the.
Yeah.
The big blue light goes off.
Like whitefish, yeah.
Yeah, so, anything like that. To, create that stronger tie. There'll be opportunities there. I will emphasize, you are gonna have a fair amount of money, district. I think the budget's 252 for you this year. As we approach that phase 3, I hope the design and consultant that'll get us through that, could probably bring up the idea of a gateway, full demarcation. Hey, you've entered the downtown. You're slower now. There's more to see and do. There's people, but that's, I think, gonna be a big portion of that. I'm excited for whatever gateway entrance point is.
Whatever happened to the plan, and I think it's still downtown as much as I pay attention, the old highway signs, we had that arch across.
They're the swings.
Yeah, were we ever gonna do any, I know when I was at the chamber, we had talked about doing something with that as a,
I'm totally open. I mean, they're the most structurally sound. I'm not kidding. Somebody threw out, not even the idea, a swing contest. And having chains off there, swing for 24 hours.
it was.
But yeah, those are great. We talked about, even for the.
Right,
We talked about, we used to have those bolts on First that and some of you remember this, we had banners. So throughout the idea that those old ITV, frames are better.
Yeah.
Because you're not touching.
yeah,
I
That's-
think we want a pine and cedar, right? Cedar.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I know,
We've
I've
talked
sounded
about
for
it for
years
years,
about
yeah.
banners and,
So maybe we. need to
because
do
it's
that.
the Canada still has the,
Paper.
but I don't think Ben's building, the previous owner wouldn't let us do anything, and I don't know if they've talked to Ben about,
Yeah, it seems a little sketchy.
it's just Ben.
I like that. Yeah, those are.
Yeah. I like that.
They're creative.
Put that on our list. Yes, Will?
Since we're talking about the parking lot, about 2 weeks ago, some friends and myself who were 80 or at 80 adjacent ages, we went down to the Panda, we parked in the parking lot and we walked out the northwest area where there's this cross hatching that you're not supposed to park,
Mhm.
and you can see sidewalk is right there. You got a curb right across there. It is such an obvious place to get people out of the parking lot into downtown. Be really nice if you cut the curb, a little bit of concrete in.
I'll mention that to, our engineers. They were really concerned about stormwater flow, but
Thought about maybe it all accumulates there. Maybe that's not what you really want either, because it's slightly downhill.
we'll mention that too.
Yeah. Some way to get over the curb.
Curbs are a little awkward.
Yeah, oh, in that corner, that's where. Don't know what it's like on the other corner where you're headed to Farming. It's hard to get out, but you have the street entrance there, so you could walk out of
Yeah.
that.
The curb cut is in the middle of the parking lot. So you just have to, maybe if there was
Paint.
paint there or something that,
But this northwest corner,
Yeah.
east
Yeah,
corner.
it's the intuitive place, yeah.
Yeah. And I had another thought, keep seeing rusted supports on Fourth and Main, where they used to support the bridge that went across the street.
oh,
Oh,
It almost looks like modern art. I don't know who owns it. I
I'm
suppose
guessing the city
do?
does, yeah.
there's
So
one on
that's in the
I think,
right of way.
both sides. You want some other place to put something,
mm,
you
Yeah.
might figure, you could figure out something there.
okay. Yeah, we've talked about those before too, and it just,
It sort of fades away.
yeah. But you're right, they're definitely, they're aging and they're kind of brutalist. Very
Keep
interesting.
art.
Yeah, we'll put that on our
Put a
list.
sign up,
Oh, yeah, we can
Yeah.
name it.
like
would
the
make-
banana on the wall,
Oh, my God, oh, that's,
$6 million.
yeah, right?
Need it.
All right, well, did anyone else have any announcements or comments or what else, what other things in town we can put a sign on and call art? We've got some. That's it. I'd say we can adjourn. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
thank you, guys.
You.